Hello, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and I just wanted to take a look at Assassin's Creed Odyssey running on 1440p monitor. This game is freaking beautiful, man. Let me see if you're getting the sound of this. Yep, you are. So let me turn that down just a little bit so it's not way too loud. But this is Assassin's Creed Odyssey, man, running on a 1440p monitor. I'll have a link in the description for the monitor that I use. Man, this game is beautiful still. I love how I love how you're running this game now 60 frames a second. The power of the Series X. We are running this on Series X, not PlayStation 5. I didn't buy this one on PlayStation 5 just because of the fact that I knew it was going to run better on my Xbox One X, so that's where I went with this one. And gosh, man, just look how beautiful this game looks now. Now, I'll always have this one. This is probably my favorite Assassin's Creed. When it comes to the new RPG ones, I love how this one here felt like a freaking Odyssey, man. Like, this game is just so beautiful. Like, look at that ground detail now. The 16x anisotropic filtering that the new Xbox has built right into it. Being able to get this at 60 frames a second. Wow, this just looks incredible. I wish they could have pushed out the draw distance for vegetation when Ubisoft actually made the 60 FPS for this. I think that would have been pretty awesome. When I play this on my PC, I've got a lot more draw distance for vegetation, stuff like that. So that's pretty good. Because when you get up here and then you look back over there, like all the freaking grass is gone now. Now it's just a green texture. But that's fine. I mean, this game is freaking huge. And so much more detailed now than it ever was on console. Especially at 1440p. This just really freaking brings out like the detail, like in the rock faces and everything, man. Like it's almost like playing the game, like seeing the game again, you know, brand new. Every time I turn it on this, it just looks so much better, so much more. Like, look at that tree. My gosh. Ooh, man. It gives me goosebumps every time I get back in here, just because, I mean, now, I love this game. I've got over 100 plus hours into Odyssey, just because I love this game a lot. I played through all the story, all that story content, and man, I just like it. You get up here, and I think they did a good job recreating Greece. I do think they did a really good job at creating this game and this world and making it, you know, pretty believable for the most part. Like, I mean, obviously it's not one-to-one scale of Greece, but I mean, it's big enough to give you a sense of scale for sure. These new consoles, man, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what they can eventually do. Actually, wait a minute. The Huntress place. I don't think that any of these guys are hostile to me anymore. Nope, they're not hostile to me anymore. They used to be really hostile. So I can come over here and I can take whatever I want. And they don't even care anymore. Like, look at these statues, man. If you haven't... the reason why I'm covering this today, the main reason I'm covering this is because this is now available on Xbox Game Pass. And if you haven't played this game or gotten a chance to... and the reason why I'm in Ezio's suit is because out of all the games, Alexios is the closest one to making me feel like, you know, I'm playing as Ezio again, man. And this is pretty cool. So I run around in Ezio's clothes as Alexio, and yeah, it's just pretty cool. I played a little bit. I played some of the game as Cassandra. I just wasn't feeling her character as much. So that was pretty cool. But man, just the fact that you can play this on Game Pass if you don't already have it. I mean, it is an old game. It is an oldie, but it's a goodie. I mean, like, look at that. Look at that draw distance out there, man. Like, you get up here and you look around and you can see like the snow-covered mountain over there. And then you look at all these islands and stuff out here. Oh, it's just fun. Like, it's just fun to play around on this game, man. So many diverse biomes and everything that it pretty much looks like this most of the time, but then you get to other places. But this game still holds up so freaking good. It's not even funny, man. Like, I do feel like if you haven't played this, man, even on the PlayStation 5 now, man, you get 1440p access. I highly recommend looking at this game, man. Like, seriously, 1440p is definitely, I would say, probably the best bet for like, especially for older games. The newer games, I'm still kind of on the fence a little bit because some of them look really, really good on 4K. Some of them, you know, don't hold up that well, but everything holds up good on a 1440p monitor. Everything. All the way down to 1080p, all the way up to 4K being downsampled. Like, this is freaking, like, look at the texture work in the side of this building now. I don't think the textures have ever looked this good. This looks a lot closer to what it looks like when I'm running this on the PC. The only real difference between the PC now is probably maybe better shadows, but vegetation draw distance. That's probably the biggest difference between that is vegetation draw distance and like distant shadows, stuff like that. But I mean, when you're playing this now on a 1440p monitor, this game looks so sharp, so crisp, so good. I mean, it just really shines. You get into these big cities and like the architecture of this world, and you start looking around, and it's just beautiful what they created for this experience. That's probably the biggest reason I love these new RPG ones, because I want to be immersed in that time period and run around and experience this. The tessellation on this ground looks pretty good too now. Like these dirt textures and all of this stuff, this looks so much better. It looks sharper and more crisp compared to even Valhalla. Valhalla has a softer tone to like the vegetation and everything. It does look a lot sharper on the 1440p monitor, but that game Valhalla looks incredible on 1440p, and it really does show. And this one here still holds up extremely well. So if you got Game Pass, download this thing and play it. It is a big download, but it is definitely worth playing, and I believe that you can actually play it from the cloud, so that's awesome, man. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.